Seven, six, five, four, three, two, one.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Easy Does It. For those of you who have just tuned in, what we talk about here is the staple concentrate, and its application, some simple recipes and potentially subs, for it. And the concentrate that not I am going to talk about, but more Richard and Deetz are going to talk about is TFA Dragon Fruit. I first used TFA Dragon Fruit with sucker punch clones, right? Where people were using dragon fruits and strawberries together, and that added a beautiful dimension or newer dimension to a strawberry. I mean, this was back in, I think, 2016, when I was starting to mix up stuff like that. But the only application that I know of is pretty much how it was used in that recipe, is to just give another dimension to a strawberry. But Deetz and Rich is going to take you through why this is necessary in your flavor stash.
So I found dragon fruit also through Sucker Punch clone. That was my staple for months. It's the only thing I vaped because of the dragon fruit. Now, that's a recipe from 2014, and the dragon fruit is at 14%. Now, that was the only thing I vaped until Rich pointed out the updated recipe called Mother of Dragon's Milk. Now, the only thing where I've really used dragon fruit at that percentage was Sucker Punch, and the only other recipe that I used dragon fruit in was maybe the odd creation where I tried to do a dragon fruit and strawberry, because they go together very well for me, was Mother of Dragon's Milk. So I really only used it for Mother of Dragon's Milk and Sucker Punch clone. In Sucker Punch clone, at that high percentage, it gave me that sherbet. And Mother of Dragon's Milk, the creams kind of gave me that profile without the ridiculously high percentage of the dragon fruit. So really, in that recipe is the only one I use it in, and then I do use it a lot for my fruits to blend them together and just soften the edges to blend. Blend the recipe together, soften the edges, and bring everything together better because of the emulsifier. I would say there's a sub in regards with using it as an emulsifier. Very recently, I found that which one is it? Juicy Peach. That works very well at the same percentages for what you would use dragon fruit for when it comes to blending and bringing fruits together at the exact same percentage. So if you had dragon fruit at 0.3%, put in peach juicy at 0.3%. That's pretty much the only thing I use it for, is just to bind my flavors together. What have you got on that, Rich?
I think for me, dragon fruit, to repeat the theme from We're a Cactus last week, dragon fruit is, at least TFA dragon fruit, is a flavor that will always be in my stash, but it's a flavor that I never want to taste in my juice. For me, the perfect use of dragon fruit was by Skittles in Godmilk, where he's using it to bind the strawberries and make them pop a bit, but you don't actually taste the dragon fruit, and that is how I would like to use it. Low percentages, half to 1%, and just allow it to sit in the background and do its magic of emulsifying and blending stuff together. I think it's the triacetin in it that causes that emulsifying action. But it also depends on, I also tried Sucker Punch clone and didn't like it at all. I've never tasted a real dragon fruit, but I believe the TFA is not very accurate. If you want a real dragon fruit,
Nothing close.
yeah, you would need to go for the Inawera probably. I wouldn't be interested in the Inawera because I don't know, dragon fruit just doesn't appeal to me. But the TFA is very useful for the same reasons that Inawera cactus is. It adds another dimension. It works very well as not even as an accent, just as an additive, without imparting a distinct flavor to the juice in all applications except one, and that is as a booster to pineapple flavors. Dragon fruit will round out your pineapple flavors and help them a bit as well. And that's the one place where I don't mind tasting the dragon fruit. Some people use it as almost like a candied pineapple, a gummy, those white gummy bear pineapple flavored ones. I tried a juice recently where somebody used TFA dragon fruit at a high percentage to simulate that. And while it was fairly accurate, again, it's just not my kind of thing. It's not a flavor that appeals to me at all, but it will always be in my stash for those reasons. What I will do is I'll try the FA Dragon Fruit that has come out. Concrete has given that a very positive review. He says it's a delicious flavor, probably a bit more realistic than the TFA Dragon Fruit is. So I might try that just to have a look and see, is this now a dragon fruit flavor that I can live with as a top note rather than as an additive or enhancer. But it's a fantastically versatile and useful flavor. I mean, I make Godmilk, every now and then, and for that reason alone, I will always have dragon fruit in my stash.
Yeah. Guys, is there anything more that you want to add? I've been looking now on ELR, and it's just a thing with ELR. You sometimes can't find your flavor. So I can't really see how popular this flavor is or what is the recommended usages, as an emulsifier. What would you guys recommend?
Well, if we take all the flavors as a reference point, it's used in just over 6,000 recipes, 6,156, and it's used on average at 2%. Now, I think that will probably have been dragged up a little bit by the likes of, Mother of Dragon's Milk. ID10T has a couple of mixes where he uses dragon fruit as a top note. So that probably drags it up a little bit, but I would say around 1 to 1.5 is probably, where most people would use it in its emulsifying role. It's not a particularly strong flavor, but it's a flavor where I want to be careful that I don't, as I say, in everything else except pineapple mixes, it's a flavor where I want to be cautious about being able to actually discern it as an accent flavor in the recipe.
Cool.
I would mix it between from 0.3 to 0.8 normally. If I'm working with strawberries, I'd normally go 1%, round about there. But then I don't use one strawberry. If you would use 1% with only strawberry ripe, for instance, it would definitely drag the strawberry ripe down. And as you know, strawberry ripe already fades on its own with a little bit of a steep. So if you do have it with strawberries at higher percentages, make sure you have a mix of strawberries in there.
Cool, guys. I think that pretty much wraps it up, unless you guys have anything else to say about TFA Dragon Fruit. Nope. Thank you so much for watching this show. Remember to leave comments below if you need a little bit more information about how you can apply TFA Dragon Fruit. I'm sure Deetz and Rich will be able to, comment back. So yeah, let us know if you need any information, and thanks for watching the show. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers.